For Lab 1, we're going to go over some basic computer skills. First thing you're going to need to do is to set up folders on your flash drive. Then we're going to work through how to navigate back to your folder to save documents. We're going to use a screen capture application called Jing, and then we'll work on how to resize and place objects on a Word document. So the first thing we're going to do is folder setup. Through the Start icon on the lower left side of your PC, you're going to click the Start and go to Computer and find your flash drive. Mine is called Removable Disk E. The interesting thing will be these letters are not permanent, so this may show up as Disk E on my computer, but when I take it into school and use it there, it shows up as Disk C or Disk G. So just be able to know which one is your flash drive. I'm going to double click that with my left mouse button, and actually I'm going to remove that. I didn't realize that was already ready to go. Okay, let's go back. So I'm going to double click this with the left mouse to open it. I'm going to right click my mouse, choose New Folder. I'm going to name this folder GIS151. I'm going to double click to open that folder, right click again, create another folder called GIS151 and lab1. And if I double click this again, I'm inside the lab1 folder. I can also expand this menu to see I have my removable disk or my flash drive, my GIS151, my lab1 folder. At the end of the term, you should have, let me go in here, you should have 8 or 9 folders, one for each lab, and no documents in here except everything needs to be in a folder. So once I'm in here, I'm going to right click, choose New, and go to Microsoft Word document, and I'm going to call this lab1 and then my name. One of the things you want to notice is that I haven't used any spaces in names. I've only used underscores, and this is really important sometimes when working with GIS data. So now I'm going to open that document, and I'm going to put my name on top. Actually, I'm going to start with the title. Make everything Times New Roman. Right. Okay, so I'm going to save this and close it. So now you need to have Jing working on your computer. So you're going to open up the application folder on your desktop, and this is my home computer, so it's going to look a little different than the computer at school. And you're going to see an icon in here called Jing. You're going to double click Jing, choose Run, next, 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 finish. And I already have Jing loaded, so this is going to be a little different. But what you're going to need to do is there will be a startup window, and you're going to put in email address and a password. and this will allow you to use the application. Now the thing that you'll find is it's a pretty safe program to put in your email and your password, and you can use that at home as well. And they've never emailed me. I never get complications from that. So anyway, once Jing is launched on your desktop, you're going to notice a little yellow sun, they call it the Jing sun, on top of your computer. So Jing is used to create screen captures. So one of the things I'm going to ask you to do today is to capture your file setup. So you go back to the Start Computer and open up your flash drive, open up your folders, and at the end of the day you will have a Word document and a couple images in this folder. So to use a Jing screen capture, you hover over the sun, you choose the capture arm, click with the left mouse, and you see these crosshairs. And I place the crosshair where I want to begin the edge of my picture, hold down and drag, and then let go. It says capture the image, and now I can put an arrow, says, Lynn, look here for that file. I can type in my name. And I can save this as Lynn's file. And now I have to navigate back to my folder. So I'm going to scroll down and find the E drive for me. It'll be different for you. Open up the 151 folder. If I save this now, let's save it both places. No, I'm not going to do it. If I save this here, it's going to be saved inside the 151 folder, but not inside the lab1 folder. So I need to double click the lab1 folder. So now I see that I'm in the lab1 folder, and I'm going to save this. And you can see that that folder, or that file, that PNG file was put in there. So for this lab, one of the things you're going to need to do is to find a thematic map of some area that you're particularly fond of, and usually I use images. Let me go back. Go into Google Images. I'm going to find a thematic map of the US, and I'm going to find a reference map of the US. I'm going to click on the full-size image. You notice that this image is 1500 by 900. You want an image that's at least 600 by 600. I'm going to right click and I'm going to save that image as, nope, I'm not even going to do that, sorry. We're going to take a Jing capture, that's right. So I'm going to capture this image. I'm going to put a label on the image, so this is a thematic map. I'm going to save the image into my folder, and nicely the computer defaulted to my flash drive folder 151 inside GIS Lab 1. And I'm going to save my thematic map, and I'm going to close that. And then you will also find a reference map of the same area, and put that in your folder. Okay, so now we're going to open up my Word document, and I'm going to insert that picture. Insert picture. Again, I'm navigating back to my flash drive, my folder, and I'm inserting that map. So one of the things students tend to do is sometimes to fit a map on a page, they may change the length and width ratio, and sometimes they'll end up with a map that's kind of distorted, a little funny. So I'm going to show you a better way to do that that will maintain your map accuracy. One way, if you're really careful, you can click on a corner, hold down your left mouse and drag, and you see that the width and the length are moving proportionally. When I do this, I'm only moving one aspect of the map. The other thing you can do is to click on the map. The map is active. Double click and it opens up the picture tools, and this lets me set the height and the length, and they are tied together, so the ratios are kept. So I want to make an image that is 2 inches in height. So both of my map images that I'm going to use are going to be 2 inches, and then I'll default to whatever their natural width is. So my size is correct, but now I want to be able to move my map anywhere on my text. So I'm going to choose text wrap, and I like to choose tight. So now I can move this map anywhere that I want, and it's not constrained by the page size. Okay, so I paused this and went ahead to finish the lab. So I have a thematic map and I have a reference map on my page, and I've also written a one-page description. I've included some information about the general components of a thematic and reference map, what distinguishes one from the other, and then I went into particulars about each of my map examples. So you can see that with this map or this image being wrapped, I can place it anywhere I want, and my text will wrap around that to make a nice looking layout. So that's the first part of your exercise. And then what you're going to do is, let me get that extra one out of there, you're going to take a new screenshot of your file setup, which will have, let me get rid of that one because that's my old file setup, and I should also have a reference map in there. So you're just going to imagine that I have a reference map in there. So then you're going to go ahead and use Jing again. Capture and call this folder. Save it. And then at the bottom on the second page of your Word document, sorry about that, you're going to insert the picture of your folders. So there's your first lab. Folder setup, a discussion of thematic and reference maps, and well-situated images.